Oh man. You know what? Let me go ahead and start this video out classically. Ah! Now I know you're looking at this video and a few of y'all be like, why does he keep moving the picture back and forth? Why is he laughing? Why? Why won't he just stop talking about this kind of stuff? This is supposed to be a combat sports show channel. But you just won't stop talking about this kind of stuff. Oh, man. Okay, let's get started. So, Paulie Malignaggi, okay, yet again, this man is pretty much doing what he know exactly what he doing, okay? Paulie know. Listen, I think Paulie is a victim of inadequate syndrome, okay? And we'll talk about that later in the video, so just kind of listen. If you don't know what that is, I'll break that down, okay? So Paulie has come out. He said he made the statement that, racism doesn't exist. Now, boy, where do I start with this one? Where do I start? Paulie said that racism don't exist. Okay. Now, he said that, Ahmad Arbery, basically, Ahmad Arbery was in that house and he had no business being inside that house. And he was alluding to that Ahmad Arbery was up to no good while in the house. Well, come to find out, of course, because, as people like to say, hey, wait for all the evidence to get in. Well, when the rest of the evidence came in, it was shown that, Ahmad Arbery did nothing inside the house. It was also shown that he was going off to college to study, electrics, to be an electrician. And he was going in the house to look at the wiring in the house. And it's evident by that because he looked around for a minute, then he left. Okay, got out of there. Now, well, why was he in the house? He shouldn't have been in there. Well, okay, so how about we say that to the other white people that came into that house too? Or the Asian couple or the Hispanic couple that looked around? I mean, how do y'all explain this? I mean, all of these people going into the house, are these people up to no good? It seemed like only, one person got chased. That was Ahmad Arbery. All these people that came into that house, all these people on video, and Ahmad Arbery was the only one that got chased. And then we say, hey, this is not about race. The only black person to go in the house is the one that get, ran down and lynched. And folks, let's just call it what this is. Look, Ahmad Arbery got lynched. He got lynched. He's the only one, okay, to be lynched, to be hunted down like an animal and lynched. That's just how that is. And I know not a lot of non-blacks, you're not going to have any sympathy for that. I know, because when it comes to black people losing their lives, you guys have already pretty much shown that, hey, I don't have no sympathy for any black person because the black person probably was doing something they shouldn't have no business doing. I know how y'all roll. I'm good with that, okay? I'm perfectly okay with that. It's your opinion. It's your right. It's whatever, okay? Now, now Paulie comes out about the whole George Floyd situation and basically doubles down on, it's not any racism and, that whole mindset of, the information, this and that. And so Paulie, was coming out. And basically he feels like all the other people that's dealing with the situation, like the Candace Owens, they all believe that, George Floyd was no martyr and, okay, so yeah, George Floyd, maybe he wasn't a martyr. Maybe he shouldn't be celebrated like this. Maybe, but the man's a worldwide phenomenon. God, dog. Everybody named Mama know who George Floyd is. And maybe we even had a point. But just because the man has a criminal history. Now listen, and when I say man, I mean black man. Just because he has a criminal history, does that mean he's got to die savagely like an animal? I know that y'all think, Paulie, I know y'all think George Floyd was an animal. I know y'all think that, but did he have to be treated so savagely? Did he have to die savagely like he did? See, because y'all don't have no compassion for black people. And see, Paulie has a problem. And I noticed this dated back all the way when he fought Adrian Broner. Man, Paulie, how does it feel? How does it feel to be dating a woman who pretty much everybody could get it? And nobody, Paulie was screaming, don't you talk about my side piece! Don't you talk about my side piece! You don't get laid! Now, Paulie got real emotional over this girl. He got real emotional. I'm sitting here thinking, why? If this is a side piece, this is somebody he really claims that he don't have any emotional attachment to. Okay, somebody he has no emotional attachment to. Why? Why did he get so upset? I mean, can you guys explain why he got so upset? Well, come to find out his family members was getting on him about it. And basically, your girlfriend F the N-word lover. I mean, your girlfriend's an N-word lover. And I'd be willing to bet that Jessica probably enjoyed it more on Adrian Broner's side. She probably did. And listen, not only Adrian Broner, but, from what I hear, boy, they passed this girl around. They passed her around like she a damn baton at a track meet. I'm talking about, man, everybody got a hand off to this thing. I mean, you have to wonder, what is up? I mean, your girl, and I think she was more than a side piece to me. Your girl couldn't get enough of men of color. She just couldn't. And that was the problem. See, that's the problem that Paulie had. Jessica couldn't get enough of men of color. And you know what? And now it's starting to come into play. Now it's starting to happen. Now we're starting to understand what's going on. Okay? Because I wonder why Paulie just kind of take this stance, and everybody and their mama know that this is wrong, man. This man had a knee put in his neck, man. This man had a knee put in his neck. And I don't care if the man had a criminal record, and, this man ain't really have, the worst thing that he did, according to Candace Owens, the worst thing that he did was he put a gun up to a pregnant woman. Now, mind you, he didn't kill this woman, okay? Nobody said the man was a saint. But see, I'm going to tell you, when you have family members that's on drugs, I'm going to tell you, it's not a fun thing, man. Family members on drugs, they're willing to do anything to get their fix. And I'm pretty sure he was there to rob that woman so he can get a fix. He can get somebody to get a fix. Okay? Nobody died. The woman wasn't harmed. And, George Floyd did this back in 2013, 2014. Here it is 2020. This man ain't having another incident till then. Was it a bad thing that he did? Yeah, man. Harassing and, threatening a pregnant woman, that is bad. But this man didn't have another incident for 6 years, okay? So could it be that maybe he was really trying to get his life together? See, why is it when black men and black people, we try to get our lives together, we try really, really hard to get our life together. And, we want to do the right thing here in the future. But for some reason, our past is never forgiven. Have you guys noticed that, when they talk about these black men that's getting murdered, they bring their past up like they past it's just never forgiven. Michael Vick, they still can't let this guy go. Okay, this was years ago. It's almost a decade ago when this man got in trouble for fighting dogs. And that these people, they still bring this stuff up. Why? He already served his time. Okay, of course, Michael Vick has never had another incident of that, but they still want to bring it up. Terrell Owens, they want to bring up his substance abuse problem. They want to keep bringing that up. And then, remember they tried to use that as an excuse as to why T.O. shouldn't be allowed in the Hall of Fame because of what he did in the past. Guys, this stuff is unreal. 2020 is becoming a nightmare. Yeah, and this racism, man, this stuff, people are coming out in full-blown fashion now. Folks, people not hiding it no more. People are pretty much telling you what their agenda is. This is what they're trying to tell you. They're explaining to you what their agenda is. And dang, boy. God dang. It's a trip, man. It's a trip. You know what? And it don't even matter what happened to black people, man. It don't matter. It don't matter what happened to black people whatsoever. If a black person being burned to death, well, what did he do? Why was he there? If a black person gets shot to death, well, what was he doing in order for him to get himself shot? Why is it always our fault that we get killed? Why? It's amazing. And then people say, why don't you talk about the black on black crime? Black people talk about that all the time. Black people talk about black on black crime. You tell me the mother of a son, okay? Tell me the mother of a son that's been killed by anybody, thug, whoever. Are they happy about that? I mean, literally, is that person happy about their son being killed? Of course, they're not happy about that. And what do these people do? They speak out about it. That's black on black crime. They speak out about it. This whole thing that black. See, what y'all mean to say is that why don't the pro-blacks, why don't the pro-blacks speak about it? Well, the pro-blacks don't account for all of black America, okay? And let's get that straight. The pro-blacks, they're not leaders, okay? Some dude named Fuquan and some dude named, Mustafa. These people don't lead me. Okay, they don't lead, but regular folks, okay, they talk about black on black crime. So when people come at me to my man, won't you talk about black on black crime? We do, we do. Do you think we want to see our children killed? I mean, do you think that's what we want to see? Ain't nobody talking about the murders in Chicago. Yeah, plenty of people talking about it. See, it's not the people that you want to talk about it. Plenty of people talking about this stuff. So miss me with black on black crime. Okay? They always want to talk about how we don't talk about that, but then, white on white crime is almost the same. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. So, if somebody came at me to my, yeah, well, white people get killed by the police more than black people. Of course, because white people make up about 80% of the population. Of course, there are more white people in the country, whereas black people only make up about 13%. Isn't that something, man? Isn't that something? And about 75% of the white murders are black murders. So wait a minute. Whoa. Time out. So 13% of the population, okay, they get murdered 75% of the time that the white people do. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. 13% of the population, but whites, they get killed. More white people die. Yeah, this is true. But the numbers of black people are so close, and they're only 13% of the population. What does that tell you? So basically, it says, a ratio. As a ratio, black people are proportionally killed more than white people. Folks, that's just what it is. And y'all saying it's not a bias? I guarantee you, if there were more black people in the country, and see, let me teach y'all some math, okay? Okay? So if white people make up, and let's do this, okay? If white people make up about 80% of the population, and about 450 white people were killed by the police, okay? And if black people make up 13% of the population, and then about 225, 235 black people were killed by cops, okay, let's just say in the year 2019, think about the proportion, okay? If the numbers were the same, do you know that black people would actually almost double the amount of white people being killed in this country? If the proportions were exactly the same. If the amount of black and white people in the U.S. were exactly the same, black deaths would double white deaths. Double it. Remember, 13% is equal to, a math lesson for you dudes, 13% is equal to 235, okay? 80% of the white people is 450, about. I'm rounding the numbers, okay, because I like to round. So you keep doing the numbers, you keep doing, matter of fact, no, more than double. Okay, more than double. Much more than double. Almost quadruple. If the number of black and white people are the same in America, the number of black deaths would quadruple, the white deaths damn near. How do you explain this? How you gonna explain this? But racism don't exist. That's funny. Does Paulie Malignaggi, does he know what it's like to be black? Does he know what it's like to get pulled over? Okay, and probably once a week. The average black person get pulled over, once a week, maybe twice a month. Does he know what that feel like to have a cop say, hey, can I search your vehicle because you look like somebody that committed a crime? And mind you, it's a mysterious crime. Or, does Paulie know how it feel to be followed around the store? When you turn your head, you see the person following you and they're trying to hide behind the counter. Okay, does Paulie, understand what it's like, to pull up in your house that you paid for and somebody that don't know you, okay, that don't work there, that don't own nothing, they trying to question you. They trying to question if you got to prove that you live in your own house, okay? Me, of course, I do neither. But I'm just saying, does Paulie understand what that feels like? Does he? Of course he don't. Of course he don't understand. And when he started talking about RICO Act and all this stuff, Paulie don't understand racism because he's unfortunately, white people don't have to go through that daily. They don't have to. It's not something they do. It's something that they're in a country where their race affords them, a lot of privileges that we can't get. Folks, that's just what it is. It's the truth, and I'm being honest about it, and it's my view. This is how I see the world. Okay, yeah, and I feel like that in the coaching arena. I feel like that in the coaching arena. Like I got to work 5 times as hard. I got to work that hard to actually get the exact same respect. Okay, like I got to work 5 times as hard. I gotta be out there all day long. Okay, I gotta be out there all day long to get the same respect. And I'm not saying that I can't do it because I managed to do it. I managed to do well. But I understand what kind of climate and environment that that I'm in. I understand that. So I know I got to work 5 times as hard. I understand. It shouldn't have to be that way. These people always telling us to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. Do this, do that. And then when we do that, well, they come and destroy everything that we work for. Like, see, this is the thing, man. In order for this country to get ahead, racism got to go. That's just it. This whole thing, all this stuff was caused by racism. And you can't, you can talk about George Floyd. You can talk about his criminal past, which is what, non-black people like to do. You can talk about all that. You can talk about every bit of that. But guess what? At the end of the day, the murders were based on racism. Racism. The murders are based on racism. All the stuff going on right now across the country is because of racism. And people getting tired of it. And see, now people are not finna sit back and take the murders and take the shootings. People are getting tired of it. And people are sick and tired of losing their loved ones. So guess what people are doing? They fighting back. They're retaliating. They're retaliating. And let me tell you, the retaliation is not going to be in favor of the cops. You see, Paulie, these cops, they still running around here. They still pushing people. They push the old man down. And folks, I don't care what color this old man is, okay? The old man was white. You can say he was a Jew. But come on, y'all. That's somebody's granddaddy. Y'all have some damn humanity, man. Well, he used his white privilege. Well, a man got pushed on the ground and his damn skull got cracked open. Forget the privilege. They almost killed somebody. These cops are out of control. But see, Paulie won't touch on that. They running around here killing black people. And now, guess what they doing now? They running around here killing elderly white people. Like, what the hell? Like, these cops. These cops. It's these cops, man. They think they God. They think they God. And you know why they pushed him down? You know why they pushed the elderly white? You know why they did it? Because they don't want him defending anything black. Okay. So you want to join them? We're going to show you what happens when you join them. We're going to show you what happens when you stand up for black people. We're going to show you what's going to happen to you. They cracked that man's skull open. And not only did they push him down and crack his skull open, they walked over him like he was nothing, like he was trash. They just left him laying there. They left him laying there. And then eventually somebody, ran in there to try to help him. But they walked through this guy like he was nothing. But racism don't exist, Paulie. So a white man defending a black person, and the cops had an issue with that. The cops had an issue with that, Paulie. Racism don't exist. See, Paulie insecure. He's insecure. And ever since Broner got with his girl, he's had a whole new outlook on life when it comes to black people. Congrats, Paulie. You was a terrible fighter. Okay, you're a terrible fighter. You're a biased commentator. And you're also a terrible person. Hey, are we still going to forget that Paulie beat this girl? Are we still going to forget that Paulie Malignaggi actually beat this girl? He used to beat on her. She was a victim of abuse from Paulie Malignaggi, but, people not going to bring that up. Ain't nobody gonna talk about his past, are we? Nah, but y'all talk about Adrian Broner past. Y'all will do that. Y'all talk about, how much of a criminal he is and how much of an idiot he is. But, this man beat this girl. Beat her. Blacked her eye. Messed her face up. Wow. So I guess people like this, people who commentate and say that George Floyd got a criminal past, wasn't a good person. Ahmad Arbery wasn't a good person. I guess we all have skeletons in our closet.